Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. As you can see from the title and thumbnail of today's video, today we're going to be talking about Odysee. And more specifically, we're going to be responding to an article by ReclaimTheNet.org that spreads two lies about Odysee. The first lie that they say about Odysee is that Odysee is a decentralized video sharing site, and as we're going to see today, this is a lie. And we're also going to see ReclaimTheNet.org claim that Odysee is pro-free speech, and like the first claim, we're also going to show you later in the video that this is an absolute lie. So, let's go to the article in question, which we can see right here on the screen. The article is called Odysee Announces Its Biggest Ever Performance Upgrade, Promises No More Buffering. Well, that sounds terrific, but let's actually read this short article. So we're going to read everything but the last paragraph. That we'll read after the fact. Decentralized video sharing platform Odysee has deployed the biggest performance upgrade in its history and promises that there will now be no more buffering on Odysee. The upgrade has been made to address user feedback about playback performance. We know many of you have complained about playback performance, so we're glad to be able to finally bring you this news today, Odysee wrote in its announcement. The performance upgrade follows Odysee's recent release of video chapters, which makes it easier for creators to timestamp key moments in their videos and for viewers to jump to these moments. The decentralized video sharing platform also recently released its Android app, which has background play, tipping, and more, and launched premium plans, which have ad-free viewing and other exclusive features. In addition to releasing new features and apps, Odysee has also brought several popular creators to the platform in recent months, including satire site The Babylon Bee and Brazil's biggest podcast, Flow. So, as we could see in all that we read, there are two different points where ReclaimTheNet.org claims that Odysee is a decentralized video sharing site, and this is an absolute pack of lies. So, as we could see in what we read, ReclaimTheNet.org in two different places claims that Odysee is a decentralized video sharing site, and this is an absolute lie. How do we know that this is an absolute lie? Well, let me redirect you to a very important video. Scott Cunningham, also known as Scott C. Business, not too long ago, about a month ago, uploaded a video to his Josh Who TV channel titled What Happened to LBRY and Odysee. The video currently has 528 views, 10 likes, no dislikes, and as you can see from the thumbnail below the video player, he claims that LBRY is not decentralized. In other words, Odysee is not decentralized. It is at the 15-minute and 26-second mark of Scott's video where he says the following.
So, the governance of LBC and LBRY is 100% centralized and controlled by them, Lab from Mars, right? The governance of the platform and the protocol and the currency, cryptocurrency itself, monetization aspects, everything is controlled by them entirely. They can ban channels on a decentralized application, right? Let me get the link to that because I didn't include that here. All right, so I've added that. And this is just one example where they took down all of this person's content due to a complaint under a Copyright Act. That makes sense. So I'm not saying like you're not allowed to ban copyright material. You are, and I understand why you have. The problem is that you claim that this part, Odysee, is centralized and that this, LBRY, is decentralized. However, if I go and try to go to the same thing, or what is it? Sorry. Get the exact one here so we're not making any mistakes. Oh, I can't even. How can I get to his portfolio or his profile? okay, well, you get my point, right? Like, I was trying to... Oh, here it is. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it's the same thing here, right? Like, this explains why they have to do it or whatever, and you can report them and get them to take stuff down for you. But my point is, if this was supposed to be decentralized and they are taking stuff down, even if they have good reason to take it down, this shows that they can just take things down. Like, and there's nothing preventing them from taking down your content or my content or whose ever content. In the same reason that the problem with the verification process is that they could be biased or make a mistake or whatever. They've introduced the ability to censor and shown their hand that clearly this isn't really decentralized and this platform isn't really what people expect to be dealing with what they've been marketed and sort of promised.
So, as we could see in that clip, Scott was able to prove that Odysee and LBRY both are not decentralized, because Painty the Pirate got all of his content removed on Odysee, which even Odysee themselves have admitted at this point that Odysee is centralized. But Odysee claims that the LBRY app that's behind Odysee is decentralized, and yet Scott was able to go to LBRY and show that Painty the Pirate's content was removed from LBRY as well as Odysee. This is 100% proof that Odysee/LBRY is 100% centralized. It's not at all decentralized like they claim that it is, and like ReclaimTheNet.org claims that it is. Absolute lie, the idea that Odysee is decentralized or that LBRY itself is decentralized. The fact that they can remove content from both proves that it's centralized. Now, let's go back to the article and let's read the last paragraph, which has the other point that I want to respond to. One of the key factors that sets Odysee apart from YouTube, the world's biggest video sharing platform, is its attitude to free speech. YouTube regularly censors videos for violating its far-reaching terms of service, while Odysee has adopted a pro-free speech stance and welcomed varying opinions on its platform. So, as we can see in this last paragraph, ReclaimTheNet.org claims that Odysee is pro-free speech. And as you're about to see, this is an absolute and utter lie. Odysee, much like BitChute and Rumble and YouTube and others pro-censorship sites, they have a hate speech policy. And more specifically, they have a hate speech policy that equates words to violence. I have here on screen the community guidelines page for Odysee that was originally published on November 30th, 2020, but was updated on February 16th of this year. And in this community guideline, we read number 7, which says, "We don't care about what you publish, live stream, comment, or include in channel descriptions for the most part, but we don't allow the following: content or posts that incite hatred or violence towards a particular group or persons based on, but not limited to, the following: ethnicity, disability, nationality, race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, social class, caste, gender identity, expression." That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Not only does Odysee have a hate speech policy like Rumble and BitChute and YouTube, their hate speech policy actually equates hatred words to violence. Because if you incite hatred towards any of these people groups, that is the same as inciting violence towards these groups. They literally equate words to violence over here at Odysee. Odysee has a hate speech policy that literally equates words to violence. That's about as far left as you can get, and that's part of the TOS at Odysee. So if you think that Odysee actually is pro-free speech, or that they're not run by total woke lefties, think again. Just look at their hate speech policy, and you know that lefties run this site. You know that people who don't really champion freedom of expression are running this site. I go into more detail about this hate speech policy in my video from 10 months ago titled, Odysee has a hate speech policy just like BitChute and YouTube. I'll include the link to this video in the description box below. But obviously, I was not pleased with this article by ReclaimTheNet.org, so I took to Gab and responded to their post for this article by saying, this article's claims that Odysee is decentralized and pro-free speech are blatant lies, and you would know this if you actually did even the slightest bit of research or read Odysee's terms of service, where they have a hate speech policy that equates words to violence. Now, ReclaimTheNet.org back in 2017, 2018, 2019, they were actually a pretty fun publication to follow because they reported on all the big tech censorship that was going on, and they were writing about and promoting all the new alt tech stuff that was popping up at the time, back when Gab and Minds and all these other sites and BitChute claimed to be free speech and seemed to be walking the walk and all that. But over the last couple of years, what has happened is that all of these alt-tech sites like Gab and Minds and BitChute and Rumble and Odysee, they have all started censoring people in the same way that YouTube does, introducing draconian community guidelines, draconian terms of service, AI censorship systems. They censor search results of their search engines, censor comment sections, even having terms of service in the case of BitChute that says that they can remove your content even if it doesn't violate their community guidelines. All this stuff has been going on the last couple of years, and not once has ReclaimTheNet.org made any articles about the censorship and draconian stuff that these alt-tech sites are doing. In fact, they're writing fluff pieces, telling you that these sites are one thing when they're really something else, claiming that these sites are pro-free speech and decentralized when the truth is they're not pro-free speech and they're not decentralized. So ReclaimTheNet.org to me at this point is controlled opposition. And because I'm getting sick and tired of all of these alt-tech video sharing sites being run by lying grifters and falsely marketing themselves as pro-free speech and decentralized, well, I'm tired of it all. I've decided it's time to do something about it. And so I announced on the official Quarter account, on Gab here, and also on Getter and Twitter, we can no longer stand all the lying grifters at BitChute, Odysee, Rumble, etc. who censor people in the same ways that YouTube does between their community guidelines and their AI systems. A fully developed video sharing site that champions freedom of speech in word and deed is needed more than ever. Quarter will be online and available to the public by either the end of May or sometime in June. Hashtag Quarter, hashtag free speech, hashtag alt-tech, hashtag video site, hashtag coming soon. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you want to help me go from being a part-time to a full-time content creator, then I would encourage you to hit the subscribe button, check out my other videos, and leave your likes and comments down below. And it doesn't matter whether you're seeing me on YouTube, or Joshu TV, or YouTube, or NewTube, or BitChute, so the concept applies to them all equally. And if you'd like to follow me on my various social media accounts, I would encourage you to check out my Tap My Bio profile, where I have links to all of the social media sites that I have accounts on. If you'd like to help me preserve freedom of speech on the internet, there are two ways you can do this. You can join and use my website Creation Social, which is an open source alt-tech alternative to Facebook and Gab. Lots of great conversations happen here. You have true freedom of speech with very minimal drama, which I think is the best of both worlds. And if you like using Facebook at all, then you should definitely use Creation Social. If you want to help me create a video sharing site of my own, I would encourage you to donate to the Quarter Project. Quarter is an open source alt tech alternative to YouTube that I am currently working on raising funds for. It's going to be a site that is very feature rich and functional, and it will have pretty much all the features you'd ever want in a video sharing site, and all of the freedom of speech that you would want as well. So you can contribute to the Quarter project either through my GiveSendGo campaign, which you can see here on screen, or you can donate to the Quarter account on Flattr, where you can do one-time or monthly tips. And everything you do as far as Flattr donations go or GiveSendGo campaign goes will go towards the Quarter project. And if you'd like to help fund TTOR or the Creation Social and or Quarter projects, then you can purchase products from my Teespring store, where we have TTOR merch, we have Creation Social merch, and we have Quarter merch. And you'll find the link to that in the description box below as well. You can also help fund me by buying and reading my books. There's another Inconvenient Truth, What Secular America Hates, and there's another Inconvenient Truth too, Defending Young Earth Creationism. You can find access to these books on the TTOR website. Thank you for watching, and have an excellent day.